A very good evening and a warm welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 17th day of June 2022. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu on Sign Language Interpretation. We welcome you to this newscast. But before we delve into tonight's newscast, let's first take a look at the top stories of the night. In our top stories tonight, President Museveni, Algerian envoy, discussed bilateral cooperation. IGG corruption report puts MAAIF UBOS officials in spotlight. Land Minister Judith Nabakova holds looming land eviction in Masaka. And in sports, Uganda falters at a start of ICC World Cricket League. Good evening once again and welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight. We start off this newscast with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has this morning met and discussed with a special envoy from Algeria, His Excellency Ramten Lamamra, who is also the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Algeria. The meeting that was also attended by the State Minister for Foreign Affairs of Uganda, Honorable John Mulumba, took place at the President's country home in Rajtura. Honorable Lamamra had brought a special message and fraternal warm greeting from the President of Algeria, His Excellency Abdelmajid Tebboune, to President Museveni. President Museveni and his guest discussed bilateral cooperation between the two sister countries of Uganda and Algeria in the fields of trade, agriculture, security, among others. His Excellency Museveni lobbied the Algerians to come and invest in Uganda, especially in agricultural value addition. The President said that Uganda produces a lot of agricultural products like maize and milk, and so Algeria should stop importing milk from Europe and buy it from Uganda. On the issue of conflicts in some African countries, President Museveni said that the problem has been overdependence on the outside countries. The solution, therefore, he said, is working together as Africa. The president gave an example of border conflicts and said that if any one country wants to revise colonial borders, they should do it diplomatically. His Excellency Museveni commended Algeria for being on the right track of the liberation struggle, and said they will continue being good allies. Now, His Excellency Lamamra brought a special message from the President of Algeria, His Excellency Abdelmajid Tebboune, to the President of Uganda. He also extended an invitation from His Excellency Tebboune to President Museveni to attend the 60th independence anniversary of Algeria, slated to take place on the 5th of July 2022. The meeting was attended by, among others, the Ambassador of Algeria to Uganda, His Excellency Khalid Sharif, and the Ambassador of Uganda to Algeria, His Excellency Alintuma Nsambu. Now, to describe the successful execution of Operation Shuja in the Democratic Republic of Congo against the ADF bases, President Yoweri Museveni used the food metaphor to drive his point home, saying war is like eating food. Food is food, but without different elements added to it, it can be a problem. Museveni said this while praising commanders and men of the UPDF for the operation that involved air power, artillery, and accurate reconnaissance that saw ADF bases in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo neutralized and remnants steering it into the vast Rwenzori Mountains and jungles. Now, the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, has underscored the need for Uganda and development partners to drum up efforts so as to consolidate the gains made as regards to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. According to Jessica Alupo, with the recent elevation to the middle income status, it is a sign that Uganda as a country has made tremendous progress in as far as ensuring holistic attainment of the SDGs, and as such, nothing should be left to chance. The Vice President was presiding over a closing ceremony of the first ever annual Sustainable Development Goals Conference that has been running for the last 2 years.
Uganda has successfully held a first ever annual Sustainable Development Goals Conference, bringing together participants from both government and non-government organizations to validate the progress of SDGs. Session after session, participants discussed the need to invest more efforts in data collection and proper segmentation of the data to inform effective usage to propel socio-economic transformation of communities.
Numbers. It is now an era of dealing with numbers. Why should we send uniform amount of money to all parishes that have different sizes in population, different sizes of land holdings, and we are sending it to them to do agriculture, even those in urban areas? Where is the data to guide the people who are taking this decision? But we are saying uniform. Uniform means that those who are already above the poverty line are going to jump higher than these others as they try to come out of poverty, causing more income inequalities, and that disrupts also the community.
Our UBC team to include the data on refugees in our national data, in our local data, in the data of our parishes. So this parish development model and all these interventions will capture the data of refugees.
In response, the Executive Director of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Chris Mukiza, explained that as per their mandate, the institution is doing its best.
What we have tried to do is to ensure that every district develops a strategic plan for statistics that details how they are going to address that and a coordinated approach of statistical production and dissemination.
So what we call the citizen-generated data is something that we're going to scale up over the next few years.
To close the meeting was the Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Alupo.
The 2022 annual SDG progress report, which has been produced by the Office of the Prime Minister, coordinated by the SDG Secretariat, and discussed during the past 2 days, is an important government report card. The findings in the report show that significant progress have been made in the attainment of the several SDGs. And I would like to request the Honorable Kasule Lumumba, my sister, to transform what she has just been presenting to us here into a cabinet memo.
Alupo also challenged Ugandans to continue with innovations to respond to the new challenges that have emerged from the harsh times of COVID-19 pandemic. The 2-day annual Sustainable Development Goals Conference was held under the theme Building Effective Models to Accelerate the SDGs in the post-COVID-19 era. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Thank you, Dorcas. Now the Inspectorate of Government is in the process of recovering 9 billion Uganda shillings that was mismanaged by officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and 900 million shillings from the officials of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, whose accountability was presented with fake and forged files. While presenting these cases from IG investigations, the Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamya, said in the short term her office is going to use the method of recovery outside court because it is shorter, convenient and guaranteed.
The Inspectorate of Government is to embark on using whistleblowers to provide information of incidences of corruption from individuals in different government institutions. This follows a complaint to the IGG from a whistleblower in October 2021, stating that during COVID-19 lockdown, officials at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries disbursed 9 billion Ugandan shillings to Bukalasa Agricultural College and Fisheries Training Institute for various activities, yet schools were closed. Inspectorate of Government investigations indicate that of the 10 billion 214 million 168,464 shillings transferred by Maif. 8,722,130,799 was mismanaged, spent on non-existent activities at the schools. IG says the culpable persons requested and agreed in writing to refund the money to the Inspectorate of Government recovery account at Bank of Uganda within a period of 28 months.
We insist on them depositing security as they work on the settlement.
The schools, they receive the money, then they go and solicit invoices, or they themselves generate invoices from companies, and these companies are usually their associates. Then they, for the procurement records, they do the forgeries, members of...
The IGG's office, through another whistleblower, investigated staff from the Finance Department of Uganda Bureau of Statistics who had allegedly amassed wealth during the COVID-19 lockdown and established that of the 1,010,731,900 Ugandan shillings that was requisitioned and paid to staff for fieldwork, 33,013,900 shillings was rightfully spent. However, the balance that was mismanaged is to be refunded by the UBOS officials implicated in this matter within 90 days.
Big fuel receipts from the petrol stations, and the others they make by themselves because the petrol stations do not exist. They present false accountability. On paper, activity has taken place, but in reality, nothing has taken place.
Kamya said most of these people became culpable because of carelessness and negligence of duty.
Some of these people, we are sure they did not take the money because they signed away and other people took it. The outcome of this option of negotiating out of court is clear, is predictable, is well known, and the amounts well known. Unlike prosecution in court, where you are not even certain whether the suspects will be convicted.
Meanwhile, the IG's report of last year, 2021, indicates that Uganda loses 20 trillion shillings annually from corruption, bribery and abscondment from duty. I'm Nafka Farida and Abduna Silwama in Kampala.
People's Front for National Transition head Dr. Kizza Besigye and Samuel Lubega Mukaku have been denied bail by Buganda Road Magistrates Court. The presiding magistrate, Osman Muhumuza, in declining to grant the dual bail, was of the view that they are likely to repeat the same acts which did lead to their arrest. Take a look.
People's Front for Transitional leader, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye and Samuel Lubega Mukaku have appeared at Buganda Road Magistrate Court in Kampala to apply for bail. The duo, who appeared in court from Ruzila Government Prison through their lawyer Elias Lukwago, applied for bail, with each presenting 2 sureties. Among those who stood sureties for that too were the Deputy Lord Mayor Dorini Nyanjura, Kitugum Legislator Daniel Anekelet, Sulaiman Chidandala, and Margaret Okuli, a former Member of Parliament.
We pray that you'll be pleased to find them substantial and admit the accused persons to bail. The other ground, Your Worship, is that we have no record of absconding from court jurisdiction. It's been held in a number of authorities that bail should not be denied unjustifiably, and that remand shouldn't be treated as a punishment.
Prosecution led by Ivan Chadze objected to their prayers, asking court if it is pleased to grant them bail, to give them the most stringent terms possible.
Your Worship, the conduct of both applicants is a sign that they do not respect the legal process. It is on that basis that we propose that both applicants restrained from repeating commission of similar offences.
Magistrate Asmani Muhomuza declined to grant bail to Dr. Kizabesi Jachfefe and Mukako, although all presented to court what was fit to grant them bail.
As much as the applicants are protected by the presumption of innocence, their antecedents must be considered. I have no guarantees that if the applicants are released on court bond, they will not engage in similar acts and therefore lead to new charges. It is my opinion that the sanctity and the authority of the court must be protected, and the court should not be sucked into the arena or the theatre of politics. And on that basis, the application for bail is rejected.
Lawyer Elias Lukwago was not pleased with the ruling, which he termed as a political ruling to his clients.
By implication, it means once you have a case already in the court or a charge preferred against you and you are facing a trial on another charge, and once you are brought again before court, you are not entitled to bail. That's a very bad precedent. So this is a matter we are pushing to appeal, and right away we are going to start on the paperwork.
Court will resume on 1st July 2022. Trouble for Dr. Kizabesi and Lubega Mkwaku started when they were arrested in Chikuwa, Kampala district, while mobilizing Ugandans to protest against the high prices of commodities in the country. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
UBC News. Now, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Dr. Anne-Maria Ruth Nankabirwa, yesterday commissioned power lines in Kapeke and in Kandwa sub-counties in Chiboga district. The move, according to Minister Nankabirwa, intends to shape economic empowerment of beneficiary communities.
Government of Uganda through the Rural Electrification Agency continue extending hydro and thermal power to many communities, especially in rural areas. Chiboga district is the latest to receive this development. While commissioning the power lines in Kapeke and in Kandwa, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Anna-Maria Ruth Nankabirwa, highlights the course of this project.
President Inga jana abantu bokununula eggwanga lino nga Uganda yonna erina megawatt 10 katuyina 1000 mu 3 mu 6 mu 8.
According to the minister, vandalism, however, still remains the major setback to this project.
Abantu ababba waya si ba government tosobola kubanga oli patriot n'oli nnyo omuti n'osala waya ab'Ekapeke baleme kufuna amasanyalaze ng'oga Museveni aleewo osala amasanyalaze. Abamuseveni tebabba amasanyalaze era oba omulimba ng'omuwagira ate n'obwosabotaginga. You're not supporting.
Nankabirwa says access to sustainable and reliable energy is a key driver to community development.
So most of these lines you are seeing in the rural areas were negotiated in the line that you are the people who are demanding for electricity. Government does not have money to buy land everywhere distribution lines pass through, but we have borrowed this money on understanding that the people who are asking for electricity will allow us put poles, you know. After all, these are 33 kV lines.
The commissioned power lines will serve the sub-counties of Kapeke, Nkandwa, Nakasozi, Chibinga and Rwamata Town Council.
And we are very optimistic as people of Rwamata that with the coming of electricity, development is going to be fostered. Factories, industries processing maize, industries processing coffee are yet to come in Rwamata Town Council.
But otherwise, I'm happy that the demand is now at the highest.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
The Lands Minister Judith Nabakova has halted any planned eviction of tenants in Bukoto's central Masaka district. This is after residents from this constituency lodged a formal complaint to her office citing a pending forceful and fraudulent eviction. Nabakova has now directed her ministry to investigate the matter and report back to her office in due course.
Masaka district is one of the areas most prone to land evictions. For nearly 15 years now, many tenants and squatters in these areas continue suffering at the hands of the purported landlords and investors who have forcefully evicted them several times.
Kavuma Fulgencio yajja napunta ettaka side emangeri ng'alaga nti ettaka eryo alinako ekyapa.
These tenants and residents of Bukoto Central in Masaka district are now living in suspense after receiving notices of eviction.
Atunda butunzi kibanja polo bamala okulaba nti gwakubbi ng'ekibanja akitunda.
Byapa ebyayindibwayo nga bye babisomye wano nange ebimu byekanze bwekanze.
Lands Minister Judith Nabakova has now been brought to attention of this matter.
Nasalawo negayirire Honorable Minister ajje kubanga ye alina amaanyi n'abakozi bangiko yeyeka yadda ku tteeka ate nabwe temwatutuma mu Parliament bwe tunoona ebiteeso byammwe nga tubitwalira gavumenti yani.
Nyaba Minisita ekiri mu ttaka eriri ku Bukoto Central kitabuse nti abantu bafuna ebyapa mu ngeri ey'amankweta.
Although some tenants are willing to have a common understanding with the landlords, many have decried forceful agreements.
Fetusaba Minister atuyambe anyigirize abegombolola tusobole okuteekayo obusuulu tusobole okutuula ku Mayiroland mu mirembe.
By virtue of the powers vested in her as the Lands Minister, Nabakova has halted any unlawful activity on the contested land.
No eviction of any person. Ugandans can pay nominal fee depending on the rates that were put up by the districts. If not, somebody who has worked so hard can buy themselves out or they can be bought. But what I have seen, most people are willing to pay busulu. So I have emphasized the payment of busulu, which should be taken as a priority because that's what people can afford as of now. The landlords should be willing to collect their busulu annually.
She has also interested herself in boundary opening.
For the public land, I directed the process of acquiring titles should be investigated. If there is any process that was skipped, then that means that the titles will automatically be cancelled on public land.
Many have blamed the current predicament on the current weak land laws, whereas others believe it is a matter of demand versus money. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
UBC News takes a very short break, but will return after these messages.
Have waka, you pass the ice through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Jangola be waka, look at you waka, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo.
Show them waka! Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Gold TV. Love it.
We'd like to welcome you back from that break right there. Now, moving on into some more stories that are making headlines in the country. Today, I beg your pardon. Okay, the Bishop of Uganda-Algeria, a Catholic diocese, Joseph Anthony Ziwa, the clergy and the Christians have embarked on a campaign aimed at expanding and constructing several parish churches. Now, the move is aimed at accommodating the increasing number of Christians who attend Holy Mass at various churches that are now deemed too small for the congregation.
Uganda-Algeria Catholic Diocese is among the 15 dioceses in the country, and it comprises 4 ecclesiastical provinces and is among the 15 suffragan dioceses. This increasing number of Christians, the Bishop of the diocese, Joseph Anthony Ziwa, the clergy and Christians have doubled their efforts to overcome the challenge of small churches by constructing bigger ones in order to accommodate the increasing number of Christians.
If you compare to the previous days before becoming a parish, we had a small church whose capacity could not match with the increasing population. But when the number of worshippers kept on increasing, our Bishop Anthony Ziwa thought it wise that we expand the church and build a modern one, and this is the work we were now undertaking. I appeal to my fellow Christians that we join hands in support of this noble cause. Our Bishop has always pressed for this, and we really need to support him in the venture.
The campaign to construct bigger churches has started with St. Kizito, Chengeza Parish. Construction of this new church began before COVID-19 lockdown and now needs over 1 billion shillings to be completed.
Every Sunday we used to put some tents outside to accommodate believers who come for Mass at Sunday. And so, talking with the parish council, the parish executive and the leaders of in this area, we decided to enlarge the church by adding 2 wings at the side of the church.
Reverend Father Chigundu added that they have organized a fundraising drive to be presided over by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Banja, on 26th June 2022 at Chengeza. It should be noted that this campaign of expanding and constructing new bigger churches in Chinda-Mityana Diocese will also see construction of Christ the King Church in Mityana municipality before it's elevated to parish level. I'm Nafka Farida and Salongo Kasvanti.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Jennifer, Jukila, Wewagamba, I don't have waka. You passed the ice through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Jambola be waka, look at you waka, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo.
Show them waka with MTN Momo Nyabo. Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Welcome back from that break. And now into the world of business. Uganda's judicial system has been criticized for passing judgments without properly understanding the implication of their judgment on the whole financial landscape. Stephen Kaboyo, an economist and the managing director, Alpha Capital Partners, says the judgments are hampering Uganda's quest to attract significant international capital.
Uganda must balance its priorities during these uncertain times. The appeal is made against the backdrop of rising costs of debt, an economy recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, a weakening shilling and rising costs of goods.
The war between Russia and Ukraine, and if you like, the European Union and America, is so impactful on Uganda that our budget is so badly influenced. Now, if you don't take this into account, your budget is doomed.
Payments of debts are increasingly taking a significant share of the government revenues. With no new taxes introduced, the plan to achieve sustainable growth is premised on significant revenue growth.
Taxes have remained flat. There are no adjustments to any of the taxes. And I think that is a positive outcome, because what you're trying to do is stimulate economic recovery. So the fact that taxes this year have remained flat compared to the previous year is a positive development. From an industry perspective, seeing money being invested in infrastructure development, I think that is a positive development. The discussion around dismantling domestic debt, I think that is a positive development, because as government dismantles domestic debt, they stimulate activity in terms of growing the local businesses that supply various products and services to the government. So those are some of the positive outcomes that are coming through that I think from a banking sector perspective we should embrace.
The tax base expansion, simplification of the tax process and providing of support for investors under financial duress is emphasized.
Judgments throw a lot of dark paint on Uganda as a destination to attract international capital. So that is very, very critical. Perhaps going forward, we need a workshop or a seminar and take these judges through what the implication of their judgments are. Because really, for anybody today, when you go to sell Uganda, say we have a hospitality project here that needs $5 million for investment. Said, look, how can we come there when we're not protected? Tomorrow somebody is going to deny that he took the loan, and the courts are saying, injunction, don't move any further.
How government will balance between revenue mobilization, expenditure rationalization, public debt management, and other externalities will be key in achieving the economic growth projected. Government has projected a GDP growth rate of 6% in 2023.
Charcoal traders in Uganda, under their umbrella organization, the Uganda Charcoal Traders Association, have decried harsh treatment directed by technical and enforcement agencies. This was during a meeting with officials from the Ministry of Water and Environment, Environment Protection Police and Food and Agriculture Organization at Bukenya Foundation Hotel in Kasana Town in Luwero District.
Charcoal traders in Uganda have blamed and named stakeholders in the value chain for mistreatment ranging from confiscation of products that is threatening business.
The government should come and help us, because these people, they are just there to steal our money. You find soldiers on the road just standing there collecting a huge amounts of money, 2 million, 3 million. No. Now we want a government so that they can come and help us.
This was during a meeting at Bukenya Foundation Hotel in Luwero that was attended by key stakeholders who promised to address key challenges to enable peaceful coexistence.
Key documents which are required for their charcoal business, but unfortunately, sometimes they don't have all. So these police officers or the enforcement agencies tend to take advantage of that scenario to harass them, to extort money, and they actually like being treated as if they are, serial offenders. But these matters can be handled in a proper and civil way by giving them appropriate fines and leaving them to take their products. Because sometimes their charcoal is sold in very suspicious circumstances where they don't even know, did the money go to government or in somebody's pocket? So this meeting has generally been to sensitize them on the procedures of doing legal charcoal business. Remember, charcoal business is not prohibited, but is regulated.
As solutions are sought to enable the charcoal traders avoid unnecessary losses, they were tutored on environmental protection that Food and Agriculture Organization has promised to fund.
There are some trees which are protected, so charcoal dealers are encouraged not to harvest those trees. And one thing we are asking them is to move into a sustainable basis of their business instead of harvesting any tree that they find anywhere in the country.
Most of the atrocities are along Kampala-Gulu Highway, northern Uganda and West Nile regions.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back, and now into the world of sports. Uganda has started the ICC Cricket World Cup Challenge League Group B on a losing note after failing to Jersey by 62 runs. In the game played at the Lugogo Cricket Oval, Uganda captain Brian Masaba won the toss and elected to field. The Jersey team utilized its innings with an immaculate 255 runs haul that was enabled by batsman Nick Greenwood, who returned 80 runs, including 11 fours from 93 balls. Simon Sessazi's 50 and Ronak Patel, who scored 60 runs, were the only shining armor during the chase against an inspired Jersey side. Action continues on Saturday, with Hong Kong playing Italy at Lugogo, while Kenya dates Bermuda at Chambogo. Uganda will return to action on Monday against Hong Kong at Chambogo. Same day, Kenya entertains Jersey. Now, the national netball team has finalized its 4th week of training ahead of the forthcoming Commonwealth Games next month in Birmingham in England. The team that had trial games with regional sides believe they can now challenge the best netball teams across the world. Focus has been on physical training and skills, and Uganda is pooled in Group B with host England, Northern Ireland, Malawi and New Zealand.
So we've been training for 4 weeks now, and we've really gained a lot. I personally have had different combinations with different players. The combinations, the defensive skills. What I want to prove is that as long as the coach puts you on court, everyone can perform. Yeah. Regional tours are doing very good to us because people are getting to know what netball is. We're getting support from the locals, so it's really adding advantage to us.
We've been trying our players in different playing positions, and we have attained 50% of it. So by next week we shall be trying again some players in different positions, so that since we are expecting to take like 12 players, we would like to have some players which are playing more than one position. We might get some friendlies, select team of the boys, probably next week.
Well, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but of course the weekend is upon us. But also a quick reminder is that COVID-19 is still in the country, and we should keep our arms high. And remember always to wear your mask. Don't forget to sanitize, wash your hands whenever you move out in public. Keep your neighbors safe. Keep yourself safe. We'll leave you with weather forecast for tomorrow. That is, of course, with Alex Kim Sempa. My name is Lauryn Masika Kazimoto, and my colleague Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. Now, on behalf of the newsroom and the technical team here at UBC, we wish you a happy weekend.
Is the latest in weather from the Weather Center with Sempa Alex Kim. Today morning, some parts of the Lake Victoria Basin, especially the western part of it towards Kasese, received some light isolated rainfall. For the rest of the country, it was mainly sunny intervals. But by 9 a.m. this morning, some parts of the country reported some rainfall, like Kampala reported 20 millimeters of rainfall, Tororo 3, and Entebbe reported 2 millimeters of rainfall. Now, the rainfall we are receiving across the country is mainly attributed to the winds coming in from Congo forests into our region, leading to a build-up of cloudy conditions that give way to rainfall activities. That is also coupled with a local effect over Lake Victoria. That is why tomorrow we do expect sunny intervals across most parts of the country, though along the Lake Victoria Basin we do expect some chances of light isolated rainfall. But in the afternoon we expect a pickup of thundering showers across the western sector of the country, though in the eastern it will be quite light but isolated. Because of that, we expect temperatures to be relatively high. That will be across the northern sector of the country at 30 degrees centigrade, 27 in the nation's capital, Kampala, and we are forecasting at 24 degrees centigrade. That will be across the Kabale Highlands. And if you're expecting to travel across selected cities like Nairobi, we do expect sunny intervals. But in London, some chances of rainfall at a daytime high of 26 degrees centigrade. Whereas in Cairo, we do expect bright and sunny conditions with temperatures really high at 35, and in Dubai at 40 degrees centigrade. With that, we wrap it up. Stay tuned and join us again tomorrow, same time.
Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
On UBC, the program that helps you identify opportunities for investment, job creation, growing your entrepreneurial skills, wealth creation, and social transformation.
We have a product that is ready for schools, supermarkets.
Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Every week, we showcase opportunities for creating new products and enterprises.
I now harvest a lot of cocoa. When I harvest it, I sell. After selling, I put money in my project. I have 2 projects. 1 is for construction of my house, 2 is for educating my children.
Excellence in innovation, the passion and drive to succeed, and the right mindset to grow your business. Lives